right, welcome back to another Baking with the Rodriguezes. Yeah, we're back. So let's get right into our, what I like to call SPIP, but Mom doesn't like that. But it's SPIP. It's Strawberry Pretzel Icebox Pie. SPIP. All right, what you're going to need. A pie plate. Ours says, but first, pie, because pie's important. We're going to need some butter, some sliced strawberries. Can you see it? Can we see this dog that's sniffing me right now? Heavy whipping cream. Again, it doesn't matter the brand. We got Target brand this time. Strawberry Jell-O, cream cheese, sweetened condensed milk, pretzels. We got a gigantic thing of them. And some brown sugar. All right, let's go.
Okay, so our first step is we need about 2 cups of finely chopped pretzels. So I'm going to use my little food processor. It's not a very big one, so I might have to do this more than once. And I'm just going to add some pretzels in there. Now, it does say on the cup that it's, on the actual food processor that this is about 2 cups right here. But once they're finely chopped, it'll be less than 2 cups. So let's get that all ground up and see how it goes. Ooh, so as you can see, I chopped all those up. And we ended up a little less than 2 cups. We ended up at about 1 cup here. So I'm gonna dump these out. I'm gonna do the same thing one more time so that we have enough.
Mess. The dog likes to lick it up.
So this is about 2 cups. I did that twice with the same amount of pretzels. Gave me the 2 cups that I was looking for. If you notice right inside, some of them are a little bit bigger than others. Some is very, very fine, almost a powder, but that's okay. You're gonna give that little crunch at the bottom for your crust.
Get to preheat your oven to 350. Now to make the actual pie crust, we're gonna need 3/4 cup melted butter. We're gonna add it to this the pretzel, whatever we made. And then a 1/4 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. So you can see we really pushed it in there to get that 1/4 cup. And we're just gonna put this in the bowl and mix it all together. All right. Might have to stick your finger in there. Get it out. Yum.
Okay, our next step is to pour the mixture together. This is the mixture that we put with the butter and the pretzels and the sugar. We're just gonna put this into a buttered pie plate. So basically you're gonna take a stick of butter or a piece of butter and just run it all along the bottom and the sides of your pie plate. It just keeps things from sticking. So you're gonna take your crust and you're going to start patting it down tightly so that it sticks to the bottom of your pie pan. And then you want to also make sure, I kind of try to start it up on the sides first, just to make sure that my sides are completely covered. Now you can do this with a spoon like I'm doing, or you can just use your hands to form the crust. It's perfectly fine. That's usually what I do, to be completely honest anyway. You're just going to keep going all the way around the pie plate until it's completely full, and then you'll form the bottom.
This is what it should look like by the end. Covered all around the edges and the bottom.
Now that your pie crust is completely put into your pie your pie plate, you're gonna place that into your preheated oven and you're gonna let it bake for 10 to 12 minutes until it's together and golden brown. Hey Google, start a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, and that's starting
now. It's time for your strawberries. You're gonna need the 2 cups of sliced strawberries, and we're gonna put it in the food processor to puree them, which puree is just a big fancy word for mashing. So let's stick these in here. Dropped one, it's fine. I love to make a mess. Put them in. Here we go. Get this one. Puree. And if you need to, take one of these scrapers and start putting them down here so they can all be pureed or mashed. Get it in there. Go again.
Spike found the strawberry she dropped.
Oh, he only found one of them. He's gone. This is what it should look like when you're done. Mashed strawberries. Don't forget to wash as you go. It's a lot easier than having a bunch at the end.
Okay. Our next step is to put the can of condensed milk into your mixer. If you're going to use a mixer, it's best to use this wire whisk thingy. If you're gonna use a hand mixer, that works perfectly well too. You wanna make sure you try and get as much of this out of here as you can because you don't want to be wasteful. Plus it's delicious, so why would you leave that behind? Alrighty. After that, you put in 1/2 a block of cream cheese. I let mine get a little soft, so it's a little bit hard to deal with, but we'll work with it. That's gonna go in there. And then that jello mix, we're gonna put 4 tablespoons of the mix straight on top there. Being very careful, try not to spill any of it on your counters. We're gonna put 4 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon. Once all that is in there, you're gonna mix it on medium until very well combined.
While she's mixing the strawberries, I'm gonna get out the crust that we put into the oven. Make sure it looks good. Oh yeah, nice golden brown. That's what you want it to look like.
And we're gonna leave it there to cool for just a couple of minutes. Now that everything is completely mixed together, nice and smooth, we're gonna take those strawberries that Miss Rodriguez pureed and we're gonna dump those right inside the mixture there. And then we're gonna turn our mixer back on. Sorry, I wanna make sure we get all that strawberry goodness. We're gonna turn the mixer back on low and just let it come together.
All right, so we've removed the strawberry stuff, the filling, sorry, I keep calling it stuff, but into a bowl, and then wash this out because now we're gonna use our heavy whipping cream. We have 3/4 cup of that heavy whipping cream we're gonna put into our mixer. Very carefully, get it all out. All right, and what we're gonna do is beat this on high until it forms, what are they called? Mom, what are they called?
They're called soft peaks.
Soft peaks. I forgot what they were called. And so they form soft peaks. And then we will show you what that looks like at the end because I don't know what that means either. No soft peaks yet.
3 hours later.
Just kidding. That was only like a minute or a couple minutes. Oh, I don't know how to unlock this. These definitely look like soft peaks. See how it's no longer runny anymore? Now I need to see what she means.
Okay, so now that she has gotten those soft peaks done on the whipped cream, we're gonna take this bowl of the strawberry filling and we're gonna put it back into this mixer. Now, if you'll notice, I actually changed, sorry, give me just a second. I changed the instrument I'm using from the wire whisk to this big paddle. Again, if you are not using a stand mixer, you can do this with a large spoon inside of a big bowl. Works exactly the same. I'm just doing it this way because it's faster for me. Get all that strawberry goodness in there with the whipped cream. Make sure we don't leave anything here because what a waste. And then we are going to just put our mixer back on to combine these two things. We're not gonna do it very long and we're gonna do it on low so they just combine together to make it a little bit thicker. All right, we've mixed it all together. We're gonna take it off of there and we're gonna carefully pour it directly into our fresh baked pie crust. And it's okay if it goes a little bit over the edge of your pie crust. Sometimes pies do that. I'm gonna fill this all the way up with strawberry yummy. Get all of that out of there. See that the whipped cream is all gone, it all mixed together. Now, here's the best part about this pie. I don't have to bake it again. We're all done using the oven. All we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this pie, we're gonna take it to our freezer, we're gonna put it in our freezer where, unfortunately, for the other Miss Rodriguez, because she doesn't live in my house anymore, this has to freeze until tomorrow. So we can't cut into this for at least 10 to 12 hours. Takes a while, but it's worth it. Sorry guys, forgot to tell you, before you stick it in the freezer, make sure you cover it.
Much later.
All right, it's been overnight, so let's see what it looks like. Ooh. Come on. Big reveal. Oh, it might get stuck a little bit. That's okay. Ooh, that looks good.
Okay, now it's time to make our whip topping for our pie. So you can use store-brand Cool Whip or anything like that if you want to. It's perfectly fine. The recipe just calls for you to make it on your own. So I like it better that way anyway. So you're gonna take 1 1/4 cup heavy whipping cream and pour that into your mixer. You can do this by hand, but mixing it by hand takes a really long time. But it can happen, definitely. The recipe calls for 1 1/4 cup cream and 1/3 cup of regular sugar, table sugar. Put that in there. Now, it doesn't call for this. I personally like just a little bit of vanilla in my whipped cream, just because it gives it a little bit extra flavor. You do not have to add this, and I don't have a set amount that you put. I just pour a tiny bit in. Maybe one more, just to be safe. And then we're gonna beat this on medium speed until it's completely whipped up. Looks like whipped cream. So this has been whipping about a minute, minute and a half, something like that. And it looks nice and done. You can see it's nice and fluffy, like whipped cream. My dog is very excited. He thinks he's gonna get some of this. We'll see, he may get to have that later. I don't know. All right, we're gonna take our finished whipped cream out of the bowl, and literally we're just gonna plop it on the top of our pie.
Plop. Plop. Plop.
It doesn't look like I'm gonna need all of this whipped cream actually. And then you're just gonna spread it out like you would if you were icing a cake or icing anything else. Spread it out, trying to make it as smooth as you can, all the way to the edges. You can do this however you like. If you don't wanna make it completely covered, you can do it with a piping bag and make it all nice and fancy. But I'm not looking for fancy today. So there we go. All covered in whipped cream. Now, this has to go back into the freezer, guys. We have to wait another hour for the whipped cream to set up. So stick it back in your freezer and wait 1 more hour. Okay guys, so we got the pie out of the freezer. Here it is. We're gonna garnish it with a little bit of strawberry at the end here. So these are just some strawberries that I had left over from the stuff that we pureed, and put a little bit of sugar, let them sit in the refrigerator for a little bit. And we're just gonna put these in the middle, kind of just a decoration. So people, when they see it, they'll go, oh, that must be strawberry pie. And when you get a nice big slice, you'll have a little extra strawberry flavor.
Time to try this spit. That's good. That's good.